There exists within our world places that hold mysteries. Places where time seems to stand still. These places are home to extraordinary phenomenon that defies ordinary explanations. Places where the veil between what is normal and paranormal seems to no longer exist, if but for a brief moment in time. Places with tales of an horrific past, of unseen forces, shadow figures, and disembodied voices. Dark places that are not for the faint of heart or the timid. Places that are sometimes avoided and shunned. One such place is the mysterious Monroe House in Hartford City, Indiana. Hartford City is located in the northeast central portion of the state and has a total area of just under 4 square miles. It is a small, quiet town with a population of around 6,000 people. The community has made several transitions over the years, transitioning from an agricultural economy to one that was focused on manufacturing. 3M Paper Company remains the city's largest employer. Over the last few years, there has been an uptick in visitors to the small community. People from various paranormal groups have come to the town to investigate a house with extraordinary claims of paranormal activity. The Monroe House in Hartford City, Indiana has become a paranormal hotspot for these ghost hunting enthusiasts and paranormal investigative teams from all over the world. The house itself is hidden away in a quiet section of town. The mysterious White House is said to be the home of extreme paranormal activity. It is by far the most well-known haunted house in Blackford County. The house does have a long history dating back to the late 1800s. It also has numerous mysterious deaths associated with it. While we could not confirm that any deaths happened inside the house itself, there are numerous bizarre accidents and deaths to those who have lived there. There is also some history that points to some domestic violence and child abuse. In the more recent history of the house, there are claims that Satanists not only lived there, but performed rituals and other occult practices within its walls. While hard to confirm, the claim is lent some credence by objects discovered buried on the property. Things like jewelry made with human hair, wrapped in cloth, and reports of human bones and skull fragments being discovered in the crawl space of the basement. Given the history and the more modern reports, it is easy to see why the property could be haunted and why it has become a hotspot for investigators. We recently sat down with Michael Cook and Gwendolynn Guthrie of Uncharted Paracryptic Studies to talk about their recent stay at the Monroe House.
My name's Gwendolynn Guthrie. My name is Michael Cook.
And we're from Our Uncharted Paracryptid Studies. We made a visit out to the Monroe House because we wanted to experience some of the things and the stories that we have heard. And it was pretty exciting. We had a lot of good stuff happen. We were there for 2 nights, 3 days. And it was quite the experience getting to spend the night at a haunted location with no limits, getting to walk wherever we wanted to walk and, you know, set our stuff up however we wanted to set it up.
We done a few solo investigations where we would just take a camera, a recorder, and go in one room by ourselves, which wasn't a good idea for me. I was in the doll room, which is the upper room. It's got the Ouija boards and all that. Mm-hmm. And was in there for, 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, that was the first night that we went.
That was the first night.
He did a solo up where there was a lot of crowley items, and he had quite an experience.
I was asking general questions, you know, why are you here? Who are you? And I was really and truly trying to get it on EVP. However, nothing ever came through EVP after the investigation. But as I was sitting there, I felt this overwhelming feeling of sadness and more of a powerless feeling that I couldn't overcome. And it got to where I started to get up. And when I started to get up, I felt something sit down on my lap. And I couldn't see it. It felt like it was straddling me. And when I started to get up, it would just push me down. And that's when we were on live video, and she was watching the live feed, and I just told her, I said, if you're listening to me, you've got to get up here now. And as soon as she walked in, I felt it get up, and it almost thrashed around.
And as soon as I went into the room, it was like a flood it was like I walked into a wall. It was like I walked into a wall of determination. It was just that emotion, that determined feeling, and I think it had to do with keeping him in that room. Whatever was there was extremely determined to keep him in that room by himself.
We were in the red room, just you and I.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean was in CMD, Central Monitoring Desk. So we're sitting there, and I'm laying on the floor. We're wore out anyway. Not a whole lot went on today.
You can call that a paranormal hangover.
Paranormal hangover. So I'm laying on the floor, you're sitting there, and we had the recorder laying in the middle of the floor. And I was sitting there filming, you know, I was filming her. And you start asking serious questions. And after that, you stopped your questions and we replayed it. And at that, we realized then we got something, an EVP, we couldn't figure it out. It was later that we heard, can you stay the night? Which was figured out by the crypto crew. Overall, in my opinion, the Monroe House, there's definitely something there. I mean, I went in as a skeptic and I came out a believer. I had an experience I can't explain of something sitting on my lap. And that's the only way I can explain that. It felt like somebody just sit on my lap and wouldn't let me up.
I think there's at least 6 entities in there, from what I experienced. When I first got there, before I even got there, I had a dream about the house, about a little boy who was hiding behind a couch. And this little boy's job is to corral people and energies into spaces for something else to collect. And I feel like that's where you get these responses where you'll get a female's voice that comes through there a lot, which we had experience with, and then something else will step in and stomp that down and not allow that spirit, that female spirit to come through anymore. And we had that experience ourselves. And I feel like that's the soul collector. I think its job is to corral and basically cage energies in. If you're going to go in there, take your holy water, take your crystals,
Sage yourself.
sage, say your prayers, because you do not want to take anything negative out of that house.
We said a prayer and saged ourselves before we ever went in the home.
And when we left.
And told the spirits, we don't want you with us. Unfortunately, you have to stay here.
Burning sage is a ritualistic way to cleanse a person, place, or an object of negative energies or influences.
Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
In weakness we find strength. The walls must crumble before we advance. The darkness finds us before we seek out the light. True strength comes from loss.
Sometimes the things you see in the shadows are more than just shadows.
The Crypto Crew team travels to the mysterious Monroe House to investigate this paranormal hotspot. The team speaks with the owner of the property, Eddie Norris, to learn more about the history of the house.
It was 11 years ago. Bought the house, and I did not know anything about the property at the time. I just do the standard, the deeds and the title. And it's over the years I found out some of the info, mostly through, people like you doing the research and stuff. So it was built around 1850s, and not to drag it out too long, the layers of the history are really bizarre, so I'll just try to sum it up. It was actually built, the first person who lived here was the sheriff, John Saxon. He was waiting on the jail, which is right across the street, to be completed. The history was bizarre on the house. It was just unfortunate for me. It's kind of bad. The property has some issues with it. The people who passed here under kind of odd circumstances and stuff like that. I am hearing the stuff, and we think we're seeing something in here. It is so unusual. You think there's another person in here, so your reaction is to go after them. The very first time was 11 years ago. I thought I seen a family member come in to assist me on a project upstairs. It was an old fire. And I lost track of time. It had gotten dark, I had a floodlight in front of me, so I didn't realize I was there later. And then when I worked my way out into the hallway, I seen somebody cross the hallway. I thought it was a family member. After a second, I realized, why would they go into a dark area of the house? So I jumped up to go, call them some names and ask, what are you doing? There's nobody there.
I walked upstairs, just a normal day, walking upstairs, doing like our little thing my brother and I usually do, and I heard voices. I hear them a lot in here. And it was like a mother talking to our kids, and what I thought I heard, some people hear different things, but I heard, shh, they'll hear you. And I go, okay, that's kind of weird. So that kind of shook me a little bit, so I didn't want to go upstairs, and I did it for a while.
Yeah, not that long ago, I was with another individual and we was discussing something, again, nothing to do with ghosts, it was a whole different subject, and I heard that with my own ears. He reacted badly to it because it was behind him, and I thought at first it was his phone. So just as I leaned, he spun, What is that? It sounded like a person talking. But this room, I actually thought I saw somebody in it not that long ago. Not good at all.
That's good to know, though, for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, this is going to sound crazy if you don't care. In the past, everything we've seen was distant walking, not coming under your eye. I mean, it actually looked like somebody was moving. In this room, not that long ago, it was like coming out the doorway, so I overreacted because I thought it was a person. Yeah, and that was not good.
Thomas and I are doing an experiment tonight with an oscillator with infrasound. Now what infrasound is, it comes in below the human range of hearing, and we have had really good success with charging an area with infrasound and getting EVPs. So we're going to let this charge up for about 10 minutes, let it charge the area for about 10 minutes, and we're going to come back in and we're going to run an EVP session with the Steve's box. Alright guys, another thing we're doing tonight, we are setting up a bell experiment. We've got the bells and we've got some jingles, and we're hoping that somewhere during the process that once we get the energy up in this room that the entities will make the bells ring or move, and even if we're not in this room, we'll have recorders in other rooms and hopefully it'll pick it up. So it's a little experiment we like to do, and sometimes it's successful.
As our team starts their investigation, something unexpected happens. One of our seasoned investigators, Lisa Peters, has an emotional experience when dealing with what is known as the Red Room. The Red Room is also where Thomas and Tony are conducting the infrasound experiment.
When we first got here and Eddie was showing us through the house, sorry I'm crying, we went through and he was telling us a little bit about each thing or each place. And when you go around, there's a room back here. I couldn't go near it. Like a search where y'all was going in there to, he was telling y'all about anything. And
What were you feeling?
Just something bad. Just something like I tried to go follow y'all, and I just something stopped me. I couldn't.
We talked with longtime Monroe House investigator Michael Ditty Jr. to learn more about the Monroe House and the infamous Red Room.
My name's Michael Ditty Jr. and I'm with Doorways Investigation Group, and I've been investigating for about 15 years now. Every team that's came in here now presently has noticed changes in the house. Sometimes it'll be quiet now, sometimes it'll be super active. When I first started the house, like I said, almost 9 years ago, it was active non-stop. I mean, it was turning radios on, turning TVs on, whatever it could, electrical, it would adjust, and it would do something different every time. And now, for some odd reason, it seems like it wants to actually be known and want help. It's actually been calling for help more and more often now. And the funny thing is that another thing that's changed about the house, when we first started, there was a dominant male. and there was a female that would try to come through and talk to us, and he would always come in and interrupt her. There was actually 2 children, a boy and a girl, that was trying to talk to us, and he would always come over the top of them and say, basically shut up or keep quiet, you don't talk, He was always trying to interrupt them during our EVP session, their ghost box sessions, or any kind of communication, basically. He was always trying to override them, like he was afraid that they would tell the secrets of the house. One of the main secrets is how he hurt the kids in the red room. The red room is actually, it's one of the very few rooms that women feel the most vulnerable in for some odd reason. They always feel drained. They always feel like there's a presence there that's going to hurt them.
Right.
They always feel that that's where the childs were hurt. It seems like...
Is there documentation of children being hurt here?
There is documentation of that. They do get a lot of child EVPs in there, and it talks about how he hurt them. And from what I understand, he was a pharmacist. He was abusive to his wife and his kids.
Mm-hmm.
I get a female in there all the time, me personally. I get a female in there all the time. She's always calling my name, asking for help.
Do we have any idea of the number of children this man had that were his?
There was 2 children. There was a boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl.
Yes.
It was at this point in the interview that we captured an unexplained voice. Here is the unexplained voice, repeated and enhanced.
A boy and a girl.
Yes.
Okay, that's the room we're fixing to go in. Mm-hmm. Do you think you'll be able to go in it now? You're going to try? Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all we can ask is you try. Now, if you're not comfortable, we want you to pull back out. We'll bring you back
in here and sit down.
There's no problem.
There's, like I said, I don't know. I didn't know then, and after we've talked to a few people, we know kind of what happened back through there. There's something not right.
Lisa fights her emotions and fears and attempts to enter the red room.
Okay, you okay? You want to sit down or you want to?
There's something right here.
Do you need to go out? Let's go out. If you're unsure, let's go in there and sit down, okay? Okay?
Think you're going to be okay?
You tell us.
Something right here.
You feel heaviness in here? Well, then let's get you in here. You've done good. You've done good. You faced your fear so far. Come on. Come on. Let's
That's okay.
No. I really don't feel good about leaving her by herself.
Well, that's me.
I'll be okay.
Either one of you want to sit with her?
No, I will. No, it's fine. No. You guys do what you need to do. That's a typical reaction of that red room with females. That's what I was trying to tell you.
It could be because it's children involved.
Yeah.
It's
children talking about that.
It's like right there.
This is a typical reaction with the women. Ironically, I didn't have a talk to her. She told me she had a dream. But I asked her just out of clear blue, I was like, have you been dreaming about this house? And she said yes. I had a bad feeling that was going to happen to her tonight. That's why I said I wanted to watch out for her tonight because of that.
Well,
and the red room is the room that we females always have her.
And that's where the alleged
abuse
and things happen. So that would be really traumatic to a female, especially.
Yes.
Go ahead and take her in there to the main room and.
Something right there is just not.
Well, maybe we can get something
in the corner right there.
Yeah.
Confirm
this.
Where I stopped.
The past few times we've been here, that's where we've gotten a lot of the EVPs and REM pod action. And what did it feel like? I mean,
it felt like this on this side right here. As soon as when I turned around there, it was like something was just pushing.
Pressure?
It was like it was pushing.
That's a pretty good personal experience that has happened to multiple women in that room.
And that's one of the reasons we do the interviews and people that's done a lot of investigating here is we want people to try to think for themselves, but whenever you have several witnesses and several that have had close to the exact same experience, it's hard to debunk that. There's some sort of unexplained energy in there. We're not going to say what it is, but we can all agree that it's some sort of unexplained energy.
Well, also, we should mention that we have investigated Lisa numerous times, and this is the most reactive I've seen her.
Yeah.
From going to any room.
I mean,
and she has been touched, and her clothes been pulled, and we've been in some.
I've never felt nothing like it. It felt like dying.
As the team sets up an EVP session in the Red Room, they capture an EVP while adjusting the Steve's box.
Okay guys, we're going to run an EVP session with Steve's box, where what's commonly known as the Red Room at the Monroe House. Who was it that caused Lisa to cry? Caused Lisa to cry. Caused Lisa to cry. Are you here with us? Can you come close, speak into this box, and we'll be able to hear you.
K2 here?
You saw a shadow shoot across the doorway. Come on in. Have a seat. Or stand right here and talk to us. You made Lisa very emotional. Do you like to pick on women? Are you the one that hurt the children? Children. What did you do to the children? Can you say that a little louder, what you did to the children?
Tortured her.
Something.
That's what I heard.
Torture.
I tortured her.
Did you torture the little girl?
As our investigators pushed for answers, the entities became hostile and verbally abusive.
What's your name? Are you afraid of men? Did you hear that? Well, if you're not, tell me what your name is.
There was something there.
Step up right here if you're not afraid of men. Speak into this box so we can hear you, and let's hear your story. Again, what is your name? How many spirits are here at the Monroe House?
We feel these two EVPs go together, as it is the same voice speaking. Was the entity confessing his crimes or pointing out the crimes of someone else?
What kind of spirits are here at the Monroe House? Are you good? Are you good? Are you evil? Can you make a noise for us?
Can we talk with the children? Can we talk with the children?
What were the children's names? What were the children's names? Are the children here? Are the children here?
Let's see if we can talk with the children. Is there any children here come up and talk to us? We're not here to hurt you in any way. Is there any children here come up and talk to us? We're not here to hurt you in any way.
Can you knock on the wall? Can you peck on the wall?
Why do you stay here? Why do you stay here? Why do you stay here?
This next EVP is rather unusual. The first part of the EVP is spoken normally. The middle part of the EVP, however, is reversed. The voice is speaking backwards. And the very last of the EVP is once again spoken normally. The team was able to recognize this speech pattern and use software to fix the middle part of the EVP. Once they did this, the EVP became understandable.
Do you know Matthew Jackson?
I heard a yes, but what's hard?
Matthew Jackson is a friend and fellow investigator who has investigated the Monroe House several times.
Do you know Matthew Jackson?
I heard a yes, but what's hard?
Do you know Matthew Jackson?
I heard a yes, but what's hard?
Was the backwards speech pattern an attempt to fool the investigators? This would not be the only reverse EVP the team would capture while at the mysterious Monroe House.
What does Matt do?
Even though Mr. Jackson is not a police officer himself, he has a retired police officer on his paranormal team. This may explain the harsh EVP. After reviewing the EVP evidence captured in the Red Room, it is easy to assume that child abuse and violence took place in the Monroe House, and more specifically, in the Red Room itself. The EVP evidence seems to back up claims of domestic abuse and child abuse in the Red Room. It is a horrific thought of someone abusing their own children in this fashion.
We may never ever solve all the mysteries to this house, but there's so much hidden and there's so many secrets to this house. But when you listen to the EVPs and you listen to them close, they tell you.
Next, the team sets up an EVP session in what is known as the Planet Room. This is the room where shadow figures have been reported. The team continues to press for information about the children and have questions about the emotional effects on Lisa.
If you don't care, come up and stand beside this black box. Tell us your story. We don't mean you any harm. Think of it as a translator between your world and ours. Do you like the ghost box?
A lot.
Well, what's your name, a lot? What object am I holding in my hand? What am I holding?
He didn't want me to go into the red room. He didn't want me to go into the red room. He didn't want me to go into the red room.
Did you hear what it said? Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what it said. I'm going to let you say it again. What did you repeat? What you said? Who didn't want her to go in the red room? Heard it again. Kitchen call. Heard it twice. Who calls you that?
Are you mad that we're here? Do you not like females?
Ask about the children.
What happened to the children? The little boy and little girl?
Did you hear?
Kill them?
Huh?
Did you kill them?
It was either killed them or molested them. I couldn't tell which one it was.
Did you torture them? Did you torture them? Did you torture them?
Did you love your children? Did you hate them?
Did you use them in a ritual? Did you enjoy hurting them? Did you think it pleased someone if you hurt them? Who did it please? Don't be afraid to tell us.
Thought he did. Yeah.
Speak up. Who did it please for you to hurt the children? Are you afraid of men? If you're not afraid of men, go right over there and punch Thomas in the stomach.
Sorry, Tom.
I'm used to it, man.
Did you feel the floor?
I did earlier. That's what happened to me. The floor feels like it rolls.
I heard some out there, so.
Did you? The floor felt like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it vibrating like it.
It's like, well, I've been in an earthquake before, and how the
like
ground
that,
rolls,
yeah.
that's what it feels like,
And
yeah.
that's been reported in this house. We've actually had the house shake before on us.
It's like a ripple.
That happened a few years back.
Did you hurt your wife? Did you hurt your wife?
Why did you hurt your wife? Did you think you were sacrificing them? What was her name that you punched?
What did it say? Repeat that. What's her name?
What was her name? Who did you punch? Can you tap on the wall for us? All right, we're going to go if you don't talk to us. We're going upstairs. Intercession.
Once again, the EVPs provide some possible insight into the dark history of the Monroe House. The name William Hitchcock continues to come up repeatedly, and apparently, according to the EVP, the children were sometimes drugged. We also get the possible name of the abused woman. The name Crystal was spoken during the EVP session.
All of them are here. I mean, it's obvious through the EVPs and everybody's evidence. Multiple teams get the same stuff we do. They're here.
Next, the team heads upstairs to what is known as the Ouija board room.
We're running EVP session at the Monroe House in what is commonly known as the Ouija board room. I have the Steve's box set on some Ouija boards. So I don't know if that'll help it or hurt it, but it's the only place I had to set it. So with a bunch of dolls in the background, that's pretty creepy. But anyways. Is anyone here with us? If you can, come up, stand here beside of me, wave your hand over the green light and the other lights will come on. Wave your hand over the green light and the other lights will come on. Wave your hand over the green light and the other lights will come on. That'll let us know you're here. Who was talking a little while ago up here? Cycle rate going, it's 4 to 6 cycles per second, so there's no way that you're going to catch anything that's going to make any sense from any of the radio stations. What's your name? Do you use these boards as a portal? Do you use these boards as a portal? Do you use these boards as a portal?
Was the entity letting us know that there are dangers associated with using the Ouija board?
Are you a demon?
Are you negative? Can you do something to show us that you're here?
Can you say one of our names?
Switch frequencies. Does that help you or hurt you? Does it make it easier for you to talk to us? Hello? Y'all hearing some sort of child's voice?
Yeah, she also said there's a demon. I'm sure of that one. Now tell us the truth. Is there a demon here? The little girl.
Yeah. Jim.
Huh?
You say something? Somebody just right over here, hopefully caught on tapes, hollered at me. that they told me.
I thought it was her too.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah. Mark will tell you.
Do you hear that? Right when you said that, it was behind me now.
Who wants to get our attention?
Holy crap. Say that again. Now, I haven't heard you in a long time. Can you talk to me again? Can you go to that red light? Make it go off? I heard that little girl in my own ears that time. She was like,
Tony and Michael both say they heard the voice of a young girl. Unfortunately, it was not caught on any of our cameras or recorders.
Is there a portal in this room? A doorway to the other world? Said true.
True.
It said yes, too.
Yeah,
Said
yes, true.
What's your name? Do you use these boards as a doorway? Are you too weak to make the other lights come on?
Are you afraid of us?
If you're afraid of us, wave your hand over the green light. If you don't talk to us, we're going to go to the basement. Maybe they'll talk to us down there. Do you want us to go downstairs? Did you hear that?
Yeah. Before that, he said something about something is coming. And it's like, yep. What's coming?
What's downstairs? We're calling your name.
Mike.
I know.
3 times.
What do you need? What's in the basement that you want me to find? Tell me again what's in the basement.
We're going to go downstairs. Who do you want us to ask for? Couldn't make it out, but I got a response.
Yeah. Say that again, please. Who do we ask for? They're talking to each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the what?
I need you to talk to me. I need you to tell me what's in the basement that I need to find. Are there more bones that I need to find?
Is there someone here with us now that made the lights come on? If there is, do it again.
No.
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 Come right over here and make those go up again. Make that go up to red. If you're a human spirit, make it go to red. We need to know who we're talking to. We need to know who we're talking to. We need to know who we're talking to. If you're non-human, make it go to red. If you're non-human, make it go to red. If you're non-human, make it go to red. Make it go to red.
We're going to the basement if you don't make the lights come on. We're here to communicate with you, not to play games. I'll turn it on AM just for a second.
Every time that little girl comes through, something wants to... I heard her with my own ears over there.
Should I help? Yes, please. We need help. Something wrong.
What do you need help with? Can you tell me?
All right then. Going to the basement.
The EVP responses in the Ouija board room seem to be coming from several different entities. Some of the entities seem to have wanted help, while others were belligerent and verbally abusive. This made the EVP session more chaotic. We should also note that there are several more EVPs that were not highlighted or replayed. Some of these were vulgar in nature. If you listen closely, you will hear those, and possibly several others.
That room in that house was the most overwhelming room. It just reeked with sadness and oppression.
By now, the team is starting to wear down. It was a long drive to the Monroe House, and it is now well past midnight. Some members have been awake around 20 hours straight and are starting to become fatigued. The team pushes on and heads down to the basement. This area is notorious for aggressive behavior, with reports of people getting attacked by an unseen force.
In the basement area, there's been a lot of attacks down there as far as other investigators. Multiple teams that have investigated down there have been attacked or had bad things happen to them and they've left. They've actually left the building within an hour of investigating the basement. They've actually just left.
All right, you want us in the basement? Here we are.
I'm gonna take out the K2 meter just in case, so I don't think there's anything.
No, not usually.
So.
Make sure there's no snakes over here. Who's down here with us? Anybody here want to speak with us? Are there any bodies buried here? Can you tell us about the children? Is this basement a portal? What's my name? Who's here? Were there people tortured here? Were there people tortured here? Were there people tortured here?
4 times. I said yes 4 times.
What were their names?
Do you want Sherry Stewart to come back into the house? It's almost like there's a conversation going on. It's kind of weird.
There's something holding them back. Yeah, I mean they're talking amongst themselves, and we've got some decent EVPs, I believe, but there's something going on. Maybe somebody's holding them back, because Thomas and I have ran into this before.
Yeah.
You know, there's a hierarchy, and if one of them, if the boss man tells them not to talk, I mean, there ain't nothing we can do. If you don't speak with us, we're going upstairs.
With the activity in the basement minimal, Tony and Michael decide to provoke the entities in an attempt to get some interaction. During this provocation, the team did get some K2 meter hits and a few low EVPs. It is now after 3 a.m. and the team decides to call it a night and get a couple of hours of sleep before driving back home to Kentucky.
Well, all right, we're gonna go get some rest. We'll leave you down here.
But before lying down, Thomas and Tony set up 2 static cameras and a time-lapse camera, along with some audio recorders. As the team slept, the cameras and recorders roll on through the early hours of the morning. What was captured during those few hours turned out to be very compelling paranormal evidence. The next morning, Thomas and Tony conduct a short EVP session in the Red Room.
We are still here at the Monroe House at 7:30 after a decent night's sleep. We went to bed about somewhere around 3 a.m. We set up static cams. We didn't experience where we were at anything through the night. We left. We're going to check the static cams and see if we caught anything on those. We're going to run an EVP session before we leave this morning in a couple places. The red room here seems to have a little bit more activity. You know, this in the basement. So we're going to do some quick EVP sessions.
You're right. Look at me.
Is anyone here with us? Does anyone here need our help? What's your name? What's your name? Is there a hoofed entity here at the Monroe House? Did you hear what he said?
What'd it say?
I never saw it. Did someone drown in the well? So we're going to close this session out with goodbye, and you cannot follow us home.
Goodbye.
The first unusual activity captured on the static cameras was the turning off of one of the IR lights. The infrared lights had fresh batteries, and normally as the battery fails, the light slowly grows dim. But as you can see in the static cam video, the light just turns off. At this point, our team is fast asleep, and just who or what turned off this IR light is an absolute mystery. On one of the audio recorders was a very interesting reverse EVP. The team once again used software to correct the backwards speech. The EVP is very revealing. But perhaps the most compelling evidence was captured on the time-lapse camera set up in the kitchen. The camera was set to take a picture every 60 seconds. It ran over for a little over 2 hours and had over 130 pictures on it. This created a very short time-lapse video. The first image of the floor would be an important one. Notice all the extension cords slack on the floor. The orange extension cord slowly moves to the left, as if something is pulling it. As this is happening, there also appears to be a black mass moving out of the kitchen. It is worth noting that on the left is a doorway. That doorway goes to the planet room, the same area where property owner Eddie Norris said he saw a shadow. The team reflects on the investigation.
Well, I didn't have any really personal experiences. The only thing that I had that would be considered personal experiences, we had the floor feel like it rolled. It's a great facility. I mean, the building's historic looking, It's very old, so and it's worth coming and investigating.
Well, the Monroe House was well worth the drive. We drove about 6 hours to get here. We want to thank Eddie, Mike, and Pam for their hospitality. The town of Hartford is very beautiful. It's a historic town. I would recommend the Monroe House to anyone that is interested in the paranormal. So come on to the Monroe House and have a good time.
For me, it was definitely interesting, hard for me personally. The red room back there in the back, there's something very bad back there, something very negative. I feel for myself. I went in there with Tony and it overwhelmed me. It just, pressure in my chest. I felt like something was pushing me. I'm still sore through here, just crying emotion. The only thing that even remotely is close to it that I've ever felt was when I had somebody very close to me pass away a few years ago. I can't even look at that room without I feel it. I'm not. Would I come back here? I would. Will I go in there? Probably not.
I tend to be a little bit more scientific or prove to me that the situation's happening. So all I can really give is a personal experience. You know, there's an overall sensory problem with this house. We've discussed it before. Too many corners out shooting, too many doors, too many things for the mind to wrap around. It's confusing. I think we discussed even comparing it to the Winchester house. My personal experience is pretty much like Lisa's. When we were doing the walkthrough, I kind of tend to get ahead of everyone and get in trouble for that. But, you know, just opening that door, you know, the feeling of dread was washed over me. I get goosebumps still right now, you know, reliving that. The biggest problem with me was it was total emotional waves, and it was overwhelming. There were a couple of times when I would just feel my body shaking uncontrollably, and for that to happen, there's got to be something going on. But the experiences that Lisa had were very similar to me because, you know, it was overwhelming. With me, it was overwhelming. I compare it to an asthmatic. You know, I'm not an asthmatic. I've never had an asthma attack, but I've heard people describe it as this pressure that compresses in on your chest. And it was on this side of my body, and it started right here, and it moved all the way up. I mean, I'm sore right here in my shoulder where I felt the pressure just weighing down on me. And the more you were in that room, it intensified, and it became painful. And so, you know, her reaction, it broke my heart because, like, if you've never experienced that before, it can be terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And that's not the only room that I experienced it in. After the floor did that wavy thing in the planet room, there were a couple times I just had to do like a quick shoulder roll because it was just so much pressure. It's overwhelming. And so, like, you know, I was really proud of everybody because, like, that's not easy. Most of us were up at 4 and 5 o'clock, you know, drove 6 hours. You know, we kind of took some good breaks and everything in between, but then we just jumped right in.
Another thing too, we have heard that some teens had some tension amongst themselves, and we didn't experience any of that, even though we were tired and we drove a long way. We all
well, I think that's
good.
You know, that's the fundamental of a good group. You know, because, like, I think we all kind of mesh well together. You know, we're not thrown together. We've worked together pretty much for a good long time. You know, we're kind of the same dynamic. Just different, but that core is still there. You know, I never felt tense, but I can understand, like, you know, there's a lot of confusion that goes on in this house. A lot of people that, you know, I'm used to working in a high-driven, stressful environment. I can understand why people would probably not be able to handle it. I'd definitely come back. I wish this was going to be a 2-night investigation.
Well, to me, I would come back as well. I do wish it was closer because it is a hard drive for us.
Yeah.
And because we didn't get any
Because
sleep.
I would compare it to an onion. There are so many layers here.
I think
we
that's
only
a
got
good
to
analogy.
we barely got to scratch the surface. You know, there's just so much in this house going on, and we find little like breadcrumbs, you know, throughout the night. And I'm sitting here thinking, I want to stay here more and find out more about this place. It's very, very interesting.
During our evidence review, certain names and details emerged. The name William Hitchcock is repeatedly said during various EVP sessions. It appears to us that William Hitchcock is the dominant entity at the Monroe House. The name Crystal is also spoken. Could she have been William Hitchcock's wife? Or perhaps she was just one of the numerous abuse victims who lived at the Monroe House. We also got the name Emma. This is thought to be one of the children that suffered abuse and possibly death at the Monroe House. There were numerous other EVPs that told parts of the story. The mysterious Monroe House in Hartford, Indiana. A place with a long history and many mysteries just waiting to be solved. For the Crypto Crew, I'm Greg Champy.